Yash was very young. I mean, he was not 80, he was 18.
The mystery of life, you never know what's going to happen when, and that's why I guess you should try and make the best of today, because you never know, if this is the last time you're going to see somebody.
Just to be able to be in a Yash Chopra film, I would have been okay to be like a light also on the set, anything like.
How do you say? In Delhi में ऐसा बोलते हैं बदमाश. हम थोड़े से बदमाश थे. Hi everybody, this is
Anushka Sharma
and
Katrina Kaif.
And I'm Shah Rukh Khan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
भूल न जाना, रखना याद मुझे, जब तक है जान, जब तक है जान. These were the last words of the conversation that Yash Chopra ji had with Shah Rukh Khan on his birthday on 27 September this year. He's not around anymore. His swan song Jab Tak Hai Jaan is releasing shortly. But I think it's befitting to say that he'll always be around because the kind of legacy that he's left behind will never die for that matter. And we have with us the team of Jab Tak Hai Jaan, Shah Rukh Khan, Katrina Kaif and Anushka Sharma. Huge pleasure to have you on Bollywood Hungama. How do you look back at that entire conversation that you had with Yash Chopra ji? And I think almost immediately after he just said those lines and your eyes were moist and the way you just hugged him and even for the photo opportunity and all, it was something else for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was very moved by the fact that he would come out publicly and state that this is his last film. So to me personally, more important than it just being his last film, which must have been extremely important for the whole nation and film fraternity, to me it was just a sense of being very overwhelmed by the fact that I have worked 20 years with him and I'm also going to participate and be a part of his last legacy. And now when I look back upon it, it's last in more ways than one, and not that one would have wanted it to be like that. One would have never even thought of it like that. I was just overwhelmed when he said, मैं और picture नहीं बनाऊंगा. And I'm sure Katrina was in Chicago, Anushka was shooting elsewhere. They must have also heard it and felt, oh my God, this is the last film Yash Chopra is making. But beyond that now, it seems even more, I don't know how to say it, but it's extremely ironic. I don't know if the word is right that I'm using, that he passed away post that interview, which seemed to be his last interview. I mean, that time it didn't seem his last interview, but now, looking back upon it.
Human being की सबसे बड़ी desire जो है to be loved more and more, again and again. If somebody says I've loved and बस हो गया, he's somewhere telling a lie.
तो एक बार हुआ फिर दिल करता है और हो, प्यार मिलता रहे.
He desires to be loved by everybody.
At the launch of Saans, you were there in Chicago and you were talking on Skype, and one journalist had asked you about Yash Chopra ji and what you think about him, and even you were quite overwhelmed the way he had, I believe, told you about what he felt about your performance, and that was, it must have been a very, very shocking thing for you as well when you came to know.
I think it was a huge shock to all of us, to everyone, especially the family and Adi and everyone. I think it just came almost out of the blue. Just before I left, we were talking about, Yash was talking about how much fun we were going to have in Switzerland, shooting for the romantic song, and how excited he was to go. He was really, really excited. And it was, completely unexpected, but I guess that's the mystery of life. You never know what's going to happen when, and that's why I guess you should try and make the best of today, because you never know, if this is the last time you're going to see somebody. But I think Yash ji, in some way, if you see the good side of it, I think he, from whatever little I saw of him or little I knew of him, I don't think he would have been, happy if he didn't have all his energy and he, couldn't move around and couldn't make films and couldn't be as lively as he always was. So I think also, in some way, maybe it's, that is how he would have wanted it.
Katrina is one of the most beautiful girls in the screen. She's a very hard-working girl. I shouldn't say because my film, I think today, this film, she's done great performance. It should look gorgeous. Anushka has turned out a very good actress. And you are the privileged, you are the lucky one to have both of them in my picture, having the best of both the worlds.
I've taken a few questions from your fans and all, and many of them, they have this thing that I think you're the only actress who has worked both with Mr. Yash Chopra as well as Aditya Chopra. So I think that's apart from obviously Shah Rukh has worked with Yash Ji, but you're the only actress who has worked with both Yash Chopra and Aditya Chopra. That's quite a unique distinction for you in a way as well.
I feel extremely fortunate so early on in my career to even have people saying this. But apart from that, just to be able to be in a Yash Chopra film, like I was just saying some time ago that I would have been okay to be like a light also on the set. Anything, like I would have been okay if they told me to do like one small cameo, just pass and go from there. It's just being attaching your name to this man whose legacy is beyond belief. I mean, the kind of films that he's made, the kind of success that he's seen, whether awards, whatever. But after that, like to do a film with him and to realize like how simple he is as a person, he was just so full of life. And like Katrina said, he probably would not have been okay with being weak, because what I remember of him last, when we were shooting in Kashmir and in Ladakh, they are difficult places to shoot in, like physically quite challenging. And Yashi was so fit. Like I've fallen sick. I felt sick twice when we were there. Everyone had some problem with the other, but he was completely fit. Nothing. He would climb down mountains. He would come back up in Kashmir. So hearing the news was actually quite shocking. The fact that it was just unbelievable, because the last I remember of him was a smiling, happy man, full of life.
I believe after the nature of God has created certain natures, snowfall, rain, meadows, valleys, flowers. The most beautiful thing God has made is woman.
After nature, the most beautiful thing that God has made is woman.
In fact, I think today Akira's discovery is trending on Twitter. I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
Oh, no.
I think you're playing a journalist from Discovery Channel and you're making a...
Trending?
Yeah.
It's being talked about a lot
trending on
the
Twitter.
social networking and Twitter.
Okay.
So,
okay, nice, awesome. But like what do? Does someone do something about it?
It's like a very fashionable thing that if you're trending on Twitter, like it's something really happening and all. So maybe
Okay.
I don't know, because I think you're not on Twitter anymore and
No.
Yash ji said that I'm only 36 or 37 when you're discussing कि मैं आपके सामने ये सब बातें शायद नहीं करना चाहूँगा आपकी उम्र का लिहाज करके. I think that memory, that what he said, it just stayed in my mind. Personally, when I came to know about it, that entire thing that I'm only 36 or 37 में आपकी उम्र मुझे पता नहीं आपकी कितनी है. Do you think from that perspective that वो जितनी जिंदादिली उनके अंदर जिस तरीके से थी?
yeah, Yash Ji was very young. I said it just now. I mean, he was not 80, he was 18, and which makes me 2. But we had some really awesome times, because I could relate to him. I had really young conversations with him, younger than I would have with people my age or younger than me. We were really, how do you say? In Delhi में ऐसा बोलते हैं बदमाश. हम थोड़े से बदमाश थे. So I had some really nice memories with him. We talk about everything during filmmaking except the film, and had great chats and some nostalgia. Sometimes me wanting to know gossip, and he never gossiped like that, but in a fun way. He would tell me some stories about incidents that have happened in films before my time. So we had a great rapport, and I'm sure like both the girls would have realized in working with him for a month, at the most like 60-70 days together, that they could also relate to him like that. He's as young as them, even younger, and he had that kind of energy and happiness around him.
उम्र का तकाजा कर रहा था.
मत करो भाई.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है
same age. You must. I don't know your age. What is the real age? I was 36, 37.
Same age, sir.
36, 37.
हमारा क्या?
जो लोग बोलते हो झूठ बोलते हैं. अभी फैक्ट तो ये है ना.
You just had a super successful film, and now Jab Tak Hai Jaan is carrying tremendous buzz around it. This is the best phase of your career?
I hope every phase is the best, and every next phase only gets better. So, yeah, I think Jab Tak Hai Jaan is more than just that pre-Friday, or I think now it's releasing on Tuesday, Diwali. That normal nerves associated with the film, because I think there's so many other emotions now attached to the film. It's not just about how normally I think we all before the Friday it's how's the film gonna do, how's it gonna do. It's the last film of India's I think most loved and most famous director, and I think Shah Rukh was saying is the longest career of any director
in the world.
In the world. it's his last piece of work of somebody who's has such an amazing body of work and such iconic films. So I think the film has got much greater emotions than just the normal trivial ones we seem to attach to a movie release scene. For me and for everybody, I think, for the whole audience as well.
मेरी टेढ़ी मेढ़ी कहानियाँ, मेरे हंसते रोते ख्वाब, कुछ सुरीले बेसुरे गीत मेरे, कुछ अच्छे बुरे किरदार, वो सब मेरे हैं, उन सब में मैं हूँ, बस भूल न जाना, रखना याद मुझे, सब जब तक है जहाँ, जब तक है जहाँ.